What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Let's get started. Y'all come on in. Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. They'll come in when they come in. Now, what I want to talk to y'all today about is the 400-year curse. Yep. The shit that's been going on for the last 400 years, hard. You see what I'm saying? So, well, what's been going on here? These 400 years have been probably the hardest time period for this part of the planet. Hell, you can go back even further, 2,000 years, if you look at the whole planet. You see what I'm saying? But the last 400 years are special. In that, an indigenous shaman out there in LA from the Blackfoot tribe, who were descendants of the Khalifians, who before they left and went through stargates to port up out of here, that's why they can't find where they are. They left this dimension, or left this realm of existence, or plane of existence, to go somewhere else. They left, and when they did what they left the knowledge to the Blackfoot tribe. You see what I'm saying? So since they left the knowledge to the Blackfoot tribe, they already knew a lot of the prophecies. And one of them was the 400-year curse that indigenous shaman gave these archonic motherfuckers when they just went all around the world conquering after they invaded our planet and started fucking shit up. You see what I'm saying? So, what you got here is, what's up, Malcolm? What's up, Pebbles Love? What you got here is, you got a series of prophecies that have been going on for the last 400 years that I'm going to read. It's in the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 28, and then I'm going to read the last half of it, which is in chapter 30. They split it up. So, and then I'm going to go over the 13 original bloodlines of the planet. also. So we're gonna talk about that as well. So, well, the indigenous shaman gave them this prophecy, and he said y'all motherfuckers got 400 years to do y'all dirt. After that 400-year period is up, y'all ass is grass. Now that was in September 21st of 1619, out there in what would be called modern day Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying? Modern day Los Angeles. So, since he gave this prophecy, you know, and this is a lot of reason why they hunted down the Blackfoot tribe, because they laughed at him when he gave them this prophecy. They laughed at him. They was like, this nigga crazy. Then they killed him after he gave them their prophecy. But they laughed and shit and whatever, and then they took it to the traders, the Dirty Moors, and told them what happened. But it was a joke to them, and Dirty Moors was like, so you mean to tell me a highly advanced magi shaman just told y'all on in his last few moments of living that there's a 400-year, y'all only have 400 years to do dirt, and all y'all did was laugh at him. Yeah, y'all crazy. So the Moors went to their shamans and told them about this, and what their shaman said is, no, y'all need to go get the prophecies, because not only do they got prophecies, they are no, that's not the only prophecy that they got. That is literally only that number one, that prophecy could be the end of us, the end of what we're trying to do here, which is conquer this shit. You see what I'm saying? And live lavishly, right? That could be bad for our bloodlines as well. So and then he told them that's not the only sacred knowledge they have. They had a sacred knowledge of the Califians as well. You know, the sacred women who were descendants of Lemuria, the last few living descendants of Lemuria on the surface before the cycles changed. And you know, they left and went through a Stargate. You see what I'm saying? Before shit got real around here, because they was highly advanced goddesses. You see what I'm saying? So they're not dead, and they may come back, they may not. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard any messages from them. But yeah. Anyway, what's up, Margie? So they went and hunted down the Blackfoot tribes out there in California. That's why in their mythos, which they call history, but it's nothing but a mythos, their claim to hunting down the Blackfoot tribe was because they were in the way of them mining gold, which was not true. The Blackfoot tribe was not in the way of them mining gold. You see what I'm saying? They was mining gold the whole time. So we know it's not physical gold that they're after. Once again, just like in the Anunnaki stories, they're mining for God consciousness, because gold means God in alchemy. You see what I'm saying? So they're mining for high levels of God consciousness. They're after the Blackfoot shamans because they literally had some of the original sacred knowledge. After they hunted them down and killed them, it took them a while. It took them about 150 to 200 years to fully hunt them down and get all the prophecies from them. So we talking about from 1619 to about 1819. They was hunting these boys and girls down. You see what I'm saying? So what's up, Miss Mimi? So she was popping off. You see what I'm saying? So what happens next? What happens next? Since they was hunting them down, the Bible that you know, this book here, the King James version of the Bible, was created in New Orleans, over here. Now, the original Bible that they talk about, you know, in the early 2000s, was not the Christian Bible. The original Bible was the Gnostic Bible, because Gnosticism is the original Christianity. Christianity is a diluted, political, perverted bastard child of Gnosticism, for real. Because all the corruptions that they did to not only this book, but all the other material. You see what I'm saying? All the other shit that they did across the board. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna show y'all even in the book how they corrupted this shit. You see what I'm saying? So it continues on. So they hunted them down. They took their prophecies, took their sacred knowledge, and that's when they realized that, oh damn, if these boys, this tribe got all this sacred knowledge, then what do all the other fucking tribes, indigenous civilizations got? And that's when they created the doctrine of manifest destiny. And that's when they went all around the country fucking shit up. You see what I'm saying? That's why that doctrine was created. Manifest destiny was their excuse to go around murdering, pillaging, and plundering the original people. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it's about. Now, the 400-year curse. Let's get into that. Let's finally get into that. Let's see what it says here. Cause this needs to be decoded. Times are changing now. Let me see. Deuteronomy. Now, what is Deuteronomy? Deuteronomy is a code word. The root word of Deuteronomy is Deuter, right? But they added the D and the U. Is actually Deuteronomy. You see what I'm saying? So he talking about this is a message from the gods, a message from the deities. Cause after the indigenous shaman was killed, you know, just like y'all see in Star Wars, motherfuckers was able to maintain their consciousness after they died. He went to his people and let them know about this prophecy. You see what I'm saying? And many other beings across the planet received this prophecy as well. You know, both earlier and later. You see what I'm saying? So they weren't the only ones. So they knew we was gonna make a comeback after 400 years. They just didn't take it serious. You see what I'm saying? Cause they ain't never seen no shit like this from no other planets that they been on. You see what I'm saying? The Cabal and the Archons, like, these niggas ain't serious. Shit, they conquered. They done. You see what I'm saying? But we are not a regular people. We are solar beings, God beings, eternal, undefinable. You see what I'm saying? Masters of our arts. And now we coming back into our shit. So, let us begin. Chapter 28 of Deuteronomy, or Deuteronomy. It said, blessings for the obedience. Now, it says, if you fully obey the Lord your God. Now, of course, we mean obey means to listen, to understand, and to carry out or fulfill what you're trying to do on your path. Now, I find it interesting, this phrase, Lord your God, is not used that much in the Bible. Yeah, I know that, right? Usually, Lord is used in certain contexts, and God is used in certain contexts. But this is one of the few times you see Lord your God used simultaneously in one phrase. Why is this? Because Lord is a being who presides over a domain, a realm, a universe, a dimension. You see what I'm saying? So you are your own Lord. And your God, it didn't say the God, it said your God. And what is your God? Your God is your soul. So the Lord, your God, which is your soul. You see what I'm saying? So if you fully obey the Lord your God, which is your soul, and carefully follow all his commands or its commands, I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations, which is not only the chakras, but the physical nations. You see what I'm saying? The physical nation on earth, or the heart. All these blessings will come upon you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. The fruit of your womb will be blessed, and the crops of your land and the young of your livestock, the calves of your herds and the lambs of your flock. Your basket and your kneading trough will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. The Lord will grant that the enemies who rise up against you will be defeated before you. See, there you go. They will come at you from one direction, but flee from you in seven. The Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on everything you put your hand to, the Midas touch. The Lord your God will bless you in the land he is giving you. The Lord will establish you as his holy people, as he promised you on oath, if you keep the commands of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. What is the commands of the Lord your God? Well, what do we mean by commands? Those are the lessons and intuitive messages that you get from your soul. If you keep those commands, those messages, and carry them out, you'll have a pretty decent life. But if you neglect those intuitive messages from your soul, you will suffer, because you're not living according to your soul journey. You're living according to the physical world, because you can't serve two masters. You either serving your soul or you serving the world. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they're telling you here. Let's see here. The Lord your God will bless you in the land he is giving you. The Lord will establish you as his holy people. Yeah, I said that. Then all the people on earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord. They will fear you. Notice what they said. They will fear you. Because they can see when you're on your soul path, your soul journey, then you vibrate on a whole other level. You see what I'm saying? Your soul glow is emanating out into the physical world, or what we call your light, your consciousness, is emanating from your heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? And people can see this gold light emanate from you. And they're scared of that gold light because they don't have it, number one. And number two, they don't know where the fuck it's coming from, because they're not aware of their own internal gods and goddesses. You see what I'm saying? Or their own internal souls. So that's what that's about. Now, it says here, the Lord will grant you abundant prosperity in the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock, and the crop of your ground, in the land he swore to your forefathers to give you. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. The head, not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them, you will always be at the top, never at the bottom. Do not turn aside from any of the commands I give you today, to the right or to the left, following other gods and serving them. So they telling you right there, don't be worshiping no gods outside of you. Only worship yourself. That's all that matters. Even our ancestral deities like Shango and Isis or Aset, and all of them are all archetypal energies that's already inside of us. You see what I'm saying? So even when you tapping into those energies, you just tapping into yourself. You see what I'm saying? So now it said curses for disobedience, which means curses for not listening to your soul. This is what happens when you don't listen to your soul, and all the struggles and strife you go through because you don't listen to it. You don't listen to it. However, if you do not obey the Lord your God, your soul, and do not carefully follow all its commands and the decrees I am giving you today, all the curses will come upon you and overtake you. Now, tell me this is not what's happening in the world today. You will be cursing the city and cursing the country. Your basket and your kneading trough will be cursed. The fruit of your womb will be cursed, and the crops of your land, and the calves of your herds, and the lambs of your flocks. You will be cursed when you come in, and cursed when you go out. The Lord will send on you curses, confusion, and rebuke, and everything you put your hands to, until you are destroyed and come to sudden ruin because of the evil you have done and forsaken him. Or forsaken it, because your soul is androgynous. The Lord will plague you with disease until he has destroyed you from the land you are entering to possess. The Lord will strike you with wasting disease, with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew, which will plague you until you perish. The sky over your head will be bronze, the ground beneath you iron. The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will come at them from one direction, but flee from them in seven. And you will become a thing of horror to all kingdoms on earth. Your carcasses will be food for all the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and there will be no one to frighten them away. That sound familiar? The Lord will afflict you. My bad. The Lord will afflict you with the boils of Egypt, and with tumors, festering sores, and the itch from which you cannot be cured. The Lord will afflict you with madness, blindness, and confusion of mind. At midday you will grope about like a blind man in the dark. You will be unsuccessful in everything you do. Day after day you will be oppressed and robbed with no one to rescue you. Ain't that interesting? So what they saying here is your soul is your own judge, jury, and executioner. So your soul take you out long before anything in the physical does, from what we read here. Am I right? So that's interesting. We're gonna keep that in mind. You will be pledged to be married to a woman, but another will take her and ravish her. Oh yeah, that really sounds familiar. You will build a house, but you will not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will not even begin to enjoy its fruits. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will eat none of it. Your donkey will be forcibly taken from you and will not be returned. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and no one will rescue them. Your sons and daughters will be given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand. A people that you do not know will eat what your hand and labor produce. Now that's cold hard truth there. And you will have nothing but cruel oppression all your days. Yeah, we know all about that. The sights you will see will drive you mad. Now ain't that cold hard fucking truth. The Lord will afflict your knees and legs with painful bars that cannot be cured, spreading from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. The Lord will drive you and the king you set over you to a nation unknown to you or your fathers. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, which is material things. Wood and stones are physical objects. You see what I'm saying? Hey, if they had put metal in here, you would have really been fucked up. Shit, cause had shit, cars, and all the other shit you worshiping outside of you, even though you think you praising the unseen God, which is weird. It's like so many extremes and contradictions about this world. You're supposed to be worshiping the unseen God, but at the same time you're supposed to be worshiping fucking material objects as well. So what's happening here is they got you in a state of madness. You see what I'm saying? And confusion. That's basically what we seeing here. And what's worse is extremities. So you pulled in all directions, fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you're dealing with. Now let's continue. Let's see. You will become a thing of horror and an object of scorn and ridicule to all the nations where the Lord will drive you. Isn't that true? Like everybody I know that's not on this shit here, most motherfuckers can't stand their asses. They not at least vibrating on, having awakened their empathy and vibrating on their heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? So I know a lot of motherfuckers who suffering in this arena. You will sow much seed in the field, but you will harvest little, because locusts will devour it. You will plant vineyards and cultivate them, but you will not drink the wine or gather the grapes, because worms will eat them. You have olive trees throughout your country, but you will not use the oil, because the olives will drop off. You have sons and daughters, but you will not keep them, because they will go into captivity. Now, captivity is a cold, hard truth. Whether it's the school system for 8 hours, learning bullshit, or it's the prison for 15 years. Doing hard time. It's pretty much the same shit. Because even all I remember at school was pretty much learning the same old rhetorical shit for 8 hours. And it was just an educational prison, from what I remember. Anyway, swarms of locusts will take over all your trees and the crops of your land. The alien who lives among you will rise above you, higher and higher, but you will sink lower and lower. Ain't that a truth? Ain't that a truth? Now they use the word alien. I find it interesting. Who is the alien? Now, alien could be a foreigner. It could be a foreigner to your country, or it could be a foreigner to your planet. You see what I'm saying? So now we know these motherfuckers let you know. Your indigenous prophets will let you know. These motherfuckers not from your planet. You see what I'm saying? Why would they be for your planet? That wouldn't even make sense. What natural being that came through a womb would destroy their own planet knowing they had to live here? You see what I'm saying? It's just logic. So let us continue here. He will lend you, but you will not lend to him. He will be the head, but you will be the tail. Now, if the head is your crown chakra, then the tail is your root chakra. So you live in a state of survival. All these curses will come upon you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the Lord your God, your soul, and observe the commands and decrees it gave you, not he. It gave you. You did not listen to the messages. You see what I'm saying? Your intuitive messages that your soul gave you to progress on your path. They will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever, because you did not serve the Lord your God so joyfully and gladly in the time of prosperity. Therefore, in hunger and thirst, in nakedness and dire poverty, you will serve the enemies the Lord sends against you. He will put an iron yoke on your neck until he has destroyed you. Why does it say that? It says you will serve the enemies the Lord sent against you. So your soul deals in energy. So when you go against your soul, those energies materialize. Whatever you do inside of you, those energies materialize outside of you in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether they're good or bad. You see what I'm saying? Whether you listening or not listening. Your soul is your own judge. So whether you listening or not listening, your soul is recording it and saying, okay, it's not listening. So I need to scream harder. You see what I'm saying? I need to scream harder for his attention. And then you fucking get robbed at a store. You see what I'm saying? or you get shot by somebody and you knew that you weren't supposed to be there because you felt like you weren't supposed to be there, but you was there anyway, so you got caught up in a crossfire. You see what I'm saying? And you got shot for no fucking reason. You see how this works now? That's what we mean by your soul is your own judge, jury, and executioner here. Now, let's see, here we go. The Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand, a fierce-looking nation without respect for the old or pity for the young. yes, that's a cold hard truth. We know that this happened. We know we got this far into it. All crazy shit, all the motherfuckers, beings came from whole other dimensions and galaxies to fuck us up. So yeah. So yeah, they tell the truth here. Let's continue. They will devour the young of your livestock and the crops of your land until you are destroyed. They will leave you no grain, new wine or oil, nor any calves of your herds or lambs of your flocks until you are ruined. They will lay siege to all the cities throughout your land until the high fortified walls in which you trust fall down. They will besiege all the cities through the land the Lord your God has given you. Because of the suffering that your enemy will inflict on you during the siege, you will eat the fruit of the womb, the flesh of the sons and daughters the Lord your God has given you. Yeah. And yeah, that's truth there. Cause we already know they like programming our genetics into the food. You see what I'm saying? Genetically modified organism. That's for a reason. They killing us and taking our genome and injecting it into the food. You see what I'm saying? Both meats and vegetables and fruit. You see what I'm saying? So they fucking up the food in their way. So this telling some truth here. Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will have no compassion on his brother, or the wife he loves, or his surviving children. Yeah, that sounds familiar there. And he will not give to one of them any of the flesh of his children that he is eating. It will be all he has left because of the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege of all your cities. The most gentle and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and gentle that she would not venture to touch the ground with the sole of her feet, will begrudge the husband she loves and her own son or daughter, the afterbirth from her womb and the children she bears. For she intends to eat them secretly during the siege and in the distress that your enemy will inflict on you in your cities. Do they mean eat them literally? Nah. They mean that you're going to be using the system, you're going to be using your kids for capital purposes. You see what I'm saying? Capitalism. You see what I'm saying? So you can't eat. You see what I'm saying? Like using Social Security and welfare and all that. You know, that's what they mean here. That's what you'll be forced to do while you in this period. You see what I'm saying? Let's continue here. Let's see. If you do not carefully follow all the words of this law, which are written in this book, and do not reveal the glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God, which is the name of your soul name, the Lord will send fearful plagues on you and your descendants, harsh and prolonged disasters, and severe and lingering illnesses. He will bring upon you all the diseases of Egypt that you dreaded, and they will cling to you. The Lord will also bring on you every kind of sickness and disaster not recorded in this book of the law. Not recorded in this book of the law. Like, that means there's so much shit going on, they couldn't even record it all. But we gonna let you know that this is out there. You see what I'm saying? Until you are destroyed. That means until you in a box, you in a grave, a casket. That's what they mean by you are destroyed. You who were as numerous as the stars in the sky will be left but few in number, because you did not obey the Lord your God, your soul. Just as it pleased the Lord to make you prosper and increase in number, so it will please it to ruin and destroy you. You will be uprooted from the land you are entering to possess. Then the Lord will scatter you among all nations, from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. Among those nations you will find no repose, no resting place for the sole of your feet. There the Lord will give you an anxious mind, eyes weary with longing, and a despairing heart. You will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day. Yeah, this shit here, something serious. Then they finish it up. In the morning you will say, if only it were evening, and in the evening, if only it were morning, because of the terror that will fill your hearts and the sights that will your eyes will see. The Lord will send you back in ships to Egypt on that journey. I said you should never make again. There you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And that pretty much all happened, right? For the most part, right? So, however we want to look at it, all the shit that's written here happened during this 400-year time period. Now, if you figured it out in this life and got back in tune with yourself, your soul, then you was pretty much good, because you had protection over you. But you want to have as much protection as you listen to your soul and walk the path. You see what I'm saying? So this saying something. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The 400-year period is ending. It ends this month on the 21st, September 21st. So what happens after this period ends? Well, this is what chapter 30 is about. Prosperity after turning to your soul, which is what this cycle is about now. When all these blessings, which I find interesting that it started off just like this. When all these blessings and curses I have set before you come upon you, and you take them to heart wherever the Lord your God so disperses you among the nations, and when you and your children return to the Lord your God so and obey it with all your heart and with all your soul according to everything I command you today, then the Lord your God will restore your fortunes and have compassion on you and gather you again from all the nations where it scattered you. Even if you've been banished to the most distant land under the heavens, from there the Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. It will bring you to the land that belonged to your fathers, and you will take possession of it. He will make you more prosperous and numerous than your fathers. The Lord your God will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your descendants, so that you may love him with all your heart, or love it with all your heart and with all your soul, and live. The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies who hate and persecute you. The Lord your God is also a reference to your higher self. Also, you will again obey the Lord and follow all his commands I am giving you today. The Lord your God will make you most prosperous in all the work of your hands and in the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock and the crops of your land. The Lord will again delight in you, make you prosperous, just as he delighted in your fathers, if you obey or listen to the Lord your God and keep his commands and decrees that are written in this book of the law, and turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. So they telling you right there. This cycle here, this age of the phoenix, this resurrection period was for you to come back to yourself. It was designed for you to come back to yourself. Now, after this period is over with, then you're going to see, you already seen it, the preliminaries of this shit crumbling. But after this 400-year period is over with, all this shit gonna crumble. You see what I'm saying? That was the 400-year curse. That was the 400-year curse that was that indigenous shaman told them. You got 400 years to do your dirt. After that, you do whatever the fuck you want to do across the planet. After that, y'all asses is grass. You see what I'm saying? And now, they starting to see what that indigenous shaman was talking about. Because all hell breaking loose on the planet, and they can't figure out what the fuck is going on. Because since their ancestors didn't take it seriously, of course they didn't take it seriously. And to the physical effects of what we were saying about what was going to happen after this 400-year prophecy, or lead up to this end of this 400-year prophecy, have started to come true and manifest on the planet. So yeah, that's tripping them out. That's blowing their fucking minds. They're like, God damn, these motherfuckers was real. These prophecies are true. Yeah. So everybody asking, why we going through so much struggle and strife? We gave them 400 years. We told them 400 years, and we meant 400 years. You see what I'm saying? So now, these last, 9? I don't even think it's 10 now. I think it's like 9 now, right? These last 9 days, they tearing up the Caribbean. They tearing up the Caribbean with hurricanes, all that shit. Setting the Amazon on fire, doing all type of crazy shit, because they trying to eliminate as many of us as they possibly can before this period is over with. But it's too late to strike now, because they didn't take it serious when they had when they were in power. They was too arrogant. You know, nature made them egotistical and relaxed. You know, by letting them be in power for these 400 years. Now, that shit just come back to bite them, because everything is starting to fall apart all around them. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna see the cabal in great panic mode for coming up. You're gonna see a lot of crazy shit coming up to the end of this 400 years, as you already seeing. You see what I'm saying? It's an attack on us every day now. Shit, in some shape, form, or fashion. But at the end of this cycle, all this shit gonna start crumbling at an accelerated rate. Like, America has been pretty much, untouched because of this 400-year prophecy. But after this 400-year prophecy, like I told y'all in my Melanin Futurism video, and Melanin Wars, that shit gonna be over. America gonna be fair game, fair ground. So you're gonna see a lot of calamity come to America next. You see what I'm saying? Because they thought they were safe. They thought they were safe from it. But nah, the only thing that's keeping nature's wrath from fucking up America is our 400-year prophecy. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, there you go. Now lastly, we'll talk about the 13 bloodlines. Now, they give you in the Bible 12 bloodlines, which I find to be interesting, because we know there's 13, because Dan, the tribe of Dan, or the house of Dan, as we say, was there in the beginning, but in the book of Revelation they changed it to the house of Joseph. But I find it interesting that in the book of Numbers, Joseph is Dan's father. So Joseph and Dan are still the same tribe. So they tried to shut down the tribe of Dan, the house of Dan. Why? Because the house of Dan decided to go into the inner earth. You see what I'm saying? The house of Dan decided to go into the inner earth and build what y'all know today as a Gotham or Shambhala. Help create that. So So paying homage to the tribe of Dan like they did the rest of the 12 tribes who stayed on the surface would be them talking too much. Now, another secret of the original 12 tribes. Originally, I'm talking about way back when this plane of existence was first created. Mother Earth was first created after the Great Migration. There were 13 goddesses, black goddesses to be precise, who decided to come together in 13 love and chaos to create this dimension which you now know today is planet Earth, this plane of existence. You see what I'm saying? There were 13 of them. Now, check this out. I'm going to give you their names, because they just changed their names in the Bible. The tribe or house of Reuben, her name was Ruby. You see what I'm saying? The house of Simeon, her name was Simone. The house of Gad, her name was Gadil. The house of Judah, her name was Huda, of course. The house of Issachar, her name was Esau. The house of Zebulun, her name was Zebulun. The house of Ephraim, her name was Ephraim. The house of Manasseh, her name was Manna. The house of Benjamin, her name was Bina. The house of Dan / Joseph, her name was Dana. The house of Asher, her name was Ashley. The house of Naphtali, her name was Naya or Naya. And the house of Levi, her name was Levine. Now, each one of these houses correspond to a particular zodiac, because they created the zodiacs as well to keep track of the cycles of this plane of existence. Reuben was Aries, which is fire. Simeon or Simone was Taurus, earth. Gad or Gadil was Gemini, air. Judah or Huda was Cancer, water. Issachar or Issa was Leo, fire. Zebulun or Zebulun was Virgo, earth. Ephraim or Ephra was Libra, air. Manasseh, Manna was Scorpio, water. Benjamin or Bina was Sagittarius, fire. Asher or Ashley is Capricorn, earth. Naphtali or Naya is Aquarius, air. And Levine is Pisces, water. Now the 13th zodiac, which popped up a few years ago, was the reminders of the 13th bloodline, which is the house of Dan or Dana, which is Ophiuchus. And her element is represented as ether. You see what I'm saying? The 5th element. So, those are the 13 original houses in bloodline. They started creating what we know today as Antarctica. And then they worked their way all across the land. You see what I'm saying? The house of Huda was, up here in North America. Then you had the rest of the houses, across the planet. Of course, we know the 13th, the house of Dana, or Dan, went inside the earth to create a Gotham. They also may be called the Dana cow, and according to the New Wabian teachings, Dana cow, which may be one of their names. You see what I'm saying? But I find it interesting they got there close. So yeah, let's see here. So they created they started creating Antarctica and worked their way out to the land of Pania, not Pangea. And the land of Pania, or the planet Pania, that's what they call the whole plane of existence. So you put the G there to throw you off, but it's actually Pania. They even showed you that in the movie Avatar with Pandora. They always using their pan energy. You see what I'm saying? To let you know what the original earth and land was called. Pania. Not Pangea, but Pania. You see what I'm saying? They put the G there to throw everybody off. You see what I'm saying? And Pania sound phonetically similar to pineal, because we live within ourselves. We live within our souls. So everything came and manifested from within our souls outward. You see what I'm saying? And we will be getting those abilities back soon. Matter of fact, we're starting to get those abilities back now. You probably already been getting those abilities back. So, those are the 13 houses, or the 13 bloodlines. You see what I'm saying? 13 black goddesses, you know, getting it in. That's what this planet was originally was. Way back when, the original Earth, Paneal or Paneal. You see what I'm saying? Before we even get to any known myths, this is not even recorded history no more on this plane. At least not history that you can get your hands on. You see what I'm saying? That's locked down in the Smithsonian and the Vatican and the Catholic Church and all that. You see what I'm saying? All they little museums. They got archive centers. They got like 12 to 15 archive centers all around the planet. You see what I'm saying? Underground archive center, maybe 20 in all. So there you go. There you go. Well, that was the main thing I wanted to drop on y'all. Let y'all know this 400-year curse almost over with. So this shit gonna crumble for real. Everything gonna fall apart. And we're gonna get to witness the destruction of this system. Finally. So, cause yeah, they thought they were safe over here in America. We good. Everything happening to everybody else, but ain't shit happening to us. Oh, you about to get yours. Y'all about to have a rude awakening. Now, the prophecy happened originally over here. That's why ain't nothing happened to America for real. It happened originally over here. So when the original prophecy is complete, then all hell gonna break loose. You know, it's gonna start slowly from October on down, or it may speed up, accelerate from October on down, all the way up into Aquarius, where that shit really get. All the way up to Aries, which is 2020, which officially starts the Aquarian energy. So yeah, 2020 is the first year of Aquarius. Everything. So this is the last of the Piscean energy. This will be it. So of course, naturally, this world got to burn away, like they showed you in the movie Noon. You got to go bye-bye. So, that being said, I take questions now. I will take questions. Pebbles love on point on schedule. Thank you. Alright. Y'all don't have any questions? I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Everybody know what's going on. Y'all check out my YouTube channel, Midnight Order. This lecture will be on there soon. And I'm out. Peace.